G'day gang. Welcome back to the channel, MP Numbers, and you know I appreciate you being here. I'd like to officially welcome you into the new year. It's 2020, and I'm excited for all the stuff that's going to happen. Today's video is going to be a bit different to what you see on my channel. Today, we're going to do a reflection of 2019. I'm going to talk about my highlights and what you would call opportunities or things that didn't quite go well. I'm also going to look at my goals for 2020. Let you know what I'm planning to do. See if you can help me out with that at all. See if you want to come along for the ride. It's going to mostly just be me talking with this beautiful face. So if you're not interested in seeing that, I understand. You can flick off. But if you want to stay on, chat with me, jump in the comments, let me know what your goals are going to be, how your 2019 went, whether it be in magic, content creation, life, whatever it may be. I appreciate you watching, and let's just have a chat. So, 2019 for me was a pretty massive year for the channel. Like it relatively, right? Like we started the year, and I do hide my sub count just because it seems to work. I don't know, but we started the year with 270 subscribers to the YouTube channel. I also started the year with I think about 600 or 700 followers on Twitter, and ending the year we got over 400 subs on YouTube and hit the 1,000 follower on Twitter mark, which was my goals for the year, my physical number goals, even though I never actually put them out there. That's what I was aiming for. So I'm really happy with that. It's a pretty big growth relatively to what I had. Obviously not massive, but yeah, if we can keep growing at that rate, I'll be happy. In terms of views, that's where we really blew up, right? Like we started the year with about 12,000 views on the channel, and I remember about this time last year we hit 15,000, and I got the alert from one of my tracker things saying congratulations, 15,000 views, and I was like, that was cool. We're now sitting at about 70,000 views on the channel, so definitely a big year, and I think I know what really pushed that, how that was driven, and hopefully I might even have some tips here for those that are also in a similar way where you have YouTube, you're not doing super excitingly well, but you're looking for a few ways to increase it. We'll talk about that as we go. It's really crazy how the views jumped. The big call out has to be the War of the Spark trailer reaction video. Now that one, I see that as probably a highlight of the channel of the year, and even though it wasn't much that I did, it was the fact that War of the Spark was a massive thing that was coming out. The trailer dropped. I got that video out the second I was allowed to. I advertised on every single thing, and I ended up with about, I think it hit about 10,000 views in that first the first bit of time, and since then it's gotten. Let me find that over here. What was that? It was April. We're sitting at just under 14,000 views. The thing I see, and anyway, this is a self-awarded medal, but I kind of won the small YouTuber reaction video part of that. Obviously there were some YouTubers out there who reacted to the video and it was massive. They got millions of views because the video itself got millions of views because it was so good. But when I compared it to other people at my level, other people who are sitting in my sub range, people that I regularly compare myself to, I was miles ahead of those. Even some people that I watch that have 2,000 or 3,000 subs, they put their reaction video out, they get couple of thousand views. Hitting that 12,000, 13,000 mark, that was my personal victory. I think I really capitalized on timing and advertising. I literally, for those of you who don't know, Wizards obviously contacted us and said, hey, we're doing this. It's really funny. I'm offshoot here. I've seen people over the last couple of months being like, oh, how dare Wizards ask small YouTubers to do this reaction video without offering any comp. Like, no, I'm sorry. If you genuinely think that this is not a good opportunity to do without getting compensation for, I genuinely have to consider your position in what you're doing. If you're expecting someone, if you've got maybe a couple thousand subs, even some of the bigger channels, sure, they're not going to get as much out of it. There is a limit of people. I'd say, well, yeah, you probably want compensation, but people at my level, people at even 10 times my level, if you've got 5,000 subs and you're saying that Wizards should pay you to have early access and provide a reaction video, like anyway, back on the shopping. Wizards contacted a whole bunch of us and said, "Hey, you can do this." There's a big list. We saw a list of it. We got it, I believe, 24 hours before it went live. I can't remember when it went live on. It was a Games Award or just the release thing. And we're able to make the reaction video, but it couldn't really be released until a certain specific time, and that ended up being about 3:00 a.m. my time. Obviously, in Australia, as you'll know, you hear me bitch about a lot, is that the time frames really suck. But yeah, so I ended up staying up until 3 a.m. and manually, obviously, uploading the video, making sure that it went live at 3:01. But I think it was a year ago, so I can't remember exactly. And then I went to Twitter, Facebook, every single Facebook group I've ever seen, every Discord channel I'm in. I even found a few extras. Every subreddit that was even related to any kind of video creation, Magic the Gathering, card games, anything on there that I could really get people into. And then, yeah, we just, like I said, I think I won. I also was really, really benefited from my thumbnail, which I think was pretty cool. And that, to kind of go off on a tangent, was the evolution of my thumbnails. For those of you kind of sitting in this kind of position, if you are a content creator, you get told all the time, thumbnails, titles, descriptions, and I've just confirmed that is right, and that's probably the biggest thing for me in terms of leveling up my YouTube game. Before this year, you can look back at the channels. My thumbnails weren't very, very good. I really liked the idea of the inverted color thumbnails back in the day, but that was back when I was just doing draft. That's back when gameplay footage was relevant, and it was okay, but then it really wasn't, because you wouldn't recognize the artwork. I didn't know how to balance the colors, but now, I mean, if you look at my thumbnails now, they're personalized because they've got my face on it. They've got a nice colorful font. They've got usually some kind of relevant image. I've got pictures of cards. I've got the Magic logo. I've got a lot more personal, a lot more professional looking thumbnails. They've got a big splash of color in them now. One of my best friends and my art guy, Des Mags, he might be watching. Hey Des, if you are, but if you don't know him, definitely give him a follow. He does a whole bunch of cool stuff. He was the one that did the thumbnail. Well, not that thumbnail. He's done a lot of thumbnails, and his idea was getting my face on there. My idea was putting the splash of color around my face. He doesn't like it. I think it makes it stand out. So that's what I'm doing, because it's my channel. I do what I want. But definitely, making it flashy, making it relevant, making it personal. Thumbnails are going to be really important. I think moving forward, it's going to be one of my focuses. Descriptions as well. But the one thing I noticed when I was actually doing recon to see how many views the other channels were getting on this War of the Spark reaction trailer video, when I went searching, I noticed that you go to YouTube, right? You type in War of the Spark trailer, it's not finding titles, it's finding descriptions. So since then, including that, because that's how I found I went into incognito, logged out to see where I ranked when you do the search. It's one thing you do as a YouTuber is you do look to see where your videos rank for the important ones anyway. And yeah, I was just crazy to realize that it's not searching tags, it's not searching title, it's searching the description. So since then, I've really upped my description game. And so before, I used a default template, which I still have in there, which has all my links in it, and I'd add Magic Gathering Draft, blah, 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 just at the top. But now I make sure I include the words Magic the Gathering, I include Wizards of the Coast, I include set name, I include the MTG, TBD, or whatever the set thing is. I include the word Arena. But basically any word that I normally put in my tags, I also now put in my description, because that really brings up your search results within YouTube. And I have confirmed that, looking through stats trackers, you can see since I've started doing that, the amount of people I'm getting in from YouTube searches, like people searching Magic the Gathering, has increased significantly, and all my views across the channel have gone up from my regular content anyway. And then titles are the same thing. You really want to make sure it makes sense and is easy to read. So those are probably my big 3 tips for people who are kind of going from starting out to the second level. Obviously, if you're sitting there at 10,000 subs, I don't really care about you. You can do your own thing. But if you're sitting there at 100 subs, wondering how you can get a few more views, those are my 3 tips. And yes, you've heard them before, but hopefully that puts a bit more context into it. Those are the big things I learned in 2019 in regards to the channel. Yeah, the other thing I learned, and this is obviously MTG specific, is that gameplay videos are dead. If you're someone like me who literally would, what I used to do is what the channel started on is, here is me drafting, here is me playing the game. I'd get views, I'd be happy with 100. If I got 100 natural views on a video, I was always happy. Then we start this year, even outside of the reaction video, my first few videos I uploaded in 2019, they were hitting thousands of views. And that's, again, for me, that's big. For example, just looking here myself, the first Magic Arena event I did got to 1,277 views, and that's probably still one of my top 10 videos. You know, it's, yeah. It was at that point I realized that highlighting the arena events, and honestly I have fun playing the arena events rather than just continually smashing out drafts where some sets I'm good at, some sets I'm not good at. Also having early access through the early access events, getting those videos out as soon as possible, highlighting those formats, whether I'm good or not, but not just the everyday draft. So yeah, if you're looking at doing Magic content, you need to, the video needs to be highlight the deck, highlight the concept, highlight the theme, maybe put a good gameplay in the end, but don't do what I used to do, which is, here's half an hour of drafting, here's half an hour of game one, here's half an hour of game two. It's just, people aren't interested in that anymore. People are moving more and more to live streaming for straight up gameplay. It's more for level up, for concept, that's what I'm thinking of, for deck techs and challenges, and you know, how can I take my next step? And that's what I'm going to continue doing moving forward. Sure, I'll still draft every now and then, but I'll be focusing more on you know, how I'm drafting, why I'm drafting, rather than just here's draft number 17 of this set, and you know, I got a bomb rare and I won, right? That's the other thing. So yeah, if you're a Magic YouTuber, definitely consider how you can make your channel not just another gameplay channel. That would be my tip moving forward. Other opportunities. Obviously, I'm going all over the track here, so if you're following this so far, please, thank you for keeping up. We're going to keep kind of doing that because that's what I do. Other opportunities. So obviously, the War of the Spark reaction video. You know, I can't thank Wizards enough for getting me involved in that, little old me. So I've done all the early access events, as you probably know. That a good couple of hundred streamers get invited to have access to on Arena about a day, usually 24 hours before the pre-release. I like to get a seal done, a couple of drafts done. Highlighting the mastery track when that came out. That was a good video I got in. Opening boosters, I did that this year. No, that was maybe this year. I don't know. But those kind of videos, they're always good, but I need to get them out the day of. So I'm at the point where rather than doing a 24-hour stream, which you know I'm allowed to do, I'll do like a 4-hour stream, cut that, get it up before the event even finishes. People who don't get to watch the event could still catch my videos. The other opportunity I got was my spoiler card. That was crazy. It was an awkward one. Like, it was awesome. We hit over 1,000 views, so that means that it ticked the box of being a good video for me. I think I did really well, as always. You know, of course, if you saw that and you want to give feedback, I definitely want to hear it. The card was awesome. I think I did a great thumbnail for it. I think I really highlighted the card. It wasn't perfect by any means, but it was good, and I can't wait to hopefully get another one in the near future. Because my feedback from WotC was positive, so win-win. The only downside was that, and this is just, you know, this is not me complaining. This is just talking about why I didn't get maybe more views like some of the videos do. Because that was an Australian exclusive, so obviously myself as an Australian, we have our local coordinator, and we got that video, and it's designed to be released by an Australian for an Australian. So the time that it went up was great for Australians, but it was basically 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. It was exclusive to my channel before it was officially released by Wizards, so in American time. So for your Americans who follow spoiler cards, you didn't have to watch my channel. It was everywhere by the time you woke up. It was out there. It was on all the Mythic spoiler lists, things like that. So you didn't have to watch my video. And that's where I think if it had been released at a different part of the day, probably would have got more views. But those are the rules we have in place. I'm not going to complain. I think it's awesome they're giving us these opportunities. So I'm definitely not going to have any issues. And I really hope I get the opportunity to do another one. That would be really cool. Other positives of the channel. One thing I did this year was I did a couple of videos that weren't Magic, and I think I'm going to keep up with this theme. World of Warcraft at the start of the year, one of those things that again built traction on the channel at the start of the year was videos where I got my daughter to play World of Warcraft for the first time. That's got a good handful of views on it, and then she also reacted to all of the trailers, the World of Warcraft trailers, like back from vanilla. I got her to watch them all. We posted up, and people loved that one. There was a few moments where I thought maybe I'll switch to a reaction channel because those are my best videos, but that requires a lot of work following when all the stuff is coming out to react. So I don't think I can dedicate myself to it. Maybe in the future, and I'll definitely do reactions as they come in. Like I've done a reaction to all of the MTG trailers since then, but because it's not exclusive, it's just on my own time. It's not as exciting, and the trailers. Obviously, like the Water Spark trailer had that moment, and if you haven't seen it, you see it, where Liliana dies, and there was so much stuff to break down, whereas the other trailer was like, oh, there's a gingerbread man, and oh, he fell in the water, okay, cool, and then it was the Theros one, oh, it's what's her name, and oh, the kid's zombie, and oh, there's Ashiok, and now she's drowning, I don't like that. Obviously, you can watch those videos on the channel if you're so inclined, but that's basically the nuts and bolts. And there wasn't lore to break down. There wasn't. It isn't following that same story wrap up that War of the Spark did. No, I'm assuming that's why they haven't given us the exclusives. But yeah, still be reacting as things come out. Definitely going to look at branching out a bit more. Like the new World of Warcraft expansion comes out soon. I play a lot of teamfight tactics, so I think I'm going to start doing strategy videos on that. Again, this is all random, but the things that I've learned, things I'm going to do. Just putting up gameplay videos like, here's round 1, pick my character, here's round 2, oh, I killed that guy, yay, oh, here's round 3, oh, I made an item. Like, that isn't going to get the views, and I know that. So it needs to be strategy, patch notes, things like that is what I'm probably going to be doing. So if you're interested in that, obviously keep it on the channel. If you're not, it's still going to be mostly Magic for now. Detractors for the year. So things that took away from my content creation. So obviously, playing a lot of World of Warcraft and Teamfight Tactics, it's the kind of thing that I do a lot by myself or with my friends, and I'm not going to turn on the camera to do that. It's just not worth my effort. And if I'm going to sit and play, because I'm the kind of person I'll sit and play World of Warcraft for 4 hours, I'm not going to sit here for a week sifting through 4 hours of footage to find a video. It's got to be something that I plan to do, that I script out, that I prepare and have ready. So spending that time, it's just not. I just haven't been doing videos because I'm not playing as much Magic. I'm still down on Arena. The drafting experience, I'm still not a big fan of it. The events, when they're firing regularly, it's awesome. But there's the one issue I think I keep saying the one issue, but the issues that I have is that the Magic events, when they come out, there's no consistency to them. There was a period of time where it would be every Friday, or again, my time, every Friday at 1 a.m. the event would start. So I would start to 1 a.m., play the event for an hour, edit the video for an hour, release it, get a good amount of views. And they changed it, so randomly it was Sundays, and it was Tuesdays, and it was Thursdays. Over the holiday season, they haven't done much. Obviously, Planeswalker Momia came out very recently. Been playing that, but that's not something that, like, you can't. I don't have a deck I can show you for that. I might do a video releasing how I play and how I win because I'm undefeated, but that might be a video for another V. And the other thing is, I don't know how long this event's going to last. Like, I could start getting some footage now, but if it runs out in 2 days, by the time I edit it, get it done, it's not worth. Like, there's no point in me putting that video out with a day to go because everyone's already played it or isn't interested in playing it. So that's kind of my blockers. I'd love to know a bit more in advance on the schedule how the Magic Arena events are going to work and have it be a bit more friendly to my time zones. But what can you do? The other big detractor, if you follow my Twitter or my Facebook or anything, we had a child in October. Like, I'm now a father of four kids that need me. need a lot of time. My partner obviously needs a lot of time. She's got the stresses of being a mother of four, and it's not hard. It's not easy, I should say. Sorry, because they do require a lot of time. They do require a lot of energy, and I can't just spend my life sitting on my computer while my kids are running around because I want to be a good dad. Like that's kind of my thing. I care about my kids. I care about my family, and that is always going to come before anything else. Yeah, so that's. I mean, I've talked a lot. Hopefully, you've got a bit of understanding of me and my journey through 2019. All this time talk about has happened. Even though I've been making videos for 3.5 years now, a lot of these advancements, a lot of these new thoughts, a lot of these changes have happened in this last 12 months. I definitely, the thumbnail thing, the title thing, the big jump in my content definitely happened a lot in 2019. It was my biggest year so far. Hopefully, I can top that. Yeah. Some other things happened in 2019. I stopped. I don't want to say I stopped streaming, but I kind of did. I went through a time at the start of the year. Life was a bit weird. I missed out on the GPs. I missed out on both GPs this year. That's because of family stuff. But because we had just had a GP, so a Grand Prix at the end of 2018, and because of where I live, and for those of you who don't know, I live on an island off the bottom of Australia, so getting to anywhere in the city of us, like in the country of Australia, is ridiculous. Like it's so expensive. It's so hard to do. So I skipped the January Grand Prix, as did so many of my friends. It was probably one of the worst GPs in Australian history because it was only a month after the other one, and then got pregnant, or my partner got pregnant, but like literally it was about a week before or after his birthday the GP was. So yeah, couldn't do that. Some other things that happened in 2019. I tried to make a second channel. That didn't go well. It was going to be a Teamfight Tactics. It was going to be other games. The video I put up was Teamfight Tactics. It got 2 views and 1 subscriber in like a few months, so we gave up on that. Definitely going to look at doing, as I said, just stuff on the main channel and kind of make that just a me channel rather than a Magic the Gathering channel, even though it'll still be like 70% Magic the Gathering, 70% plus. But hey, we tried something, we put it out there, we made the channel, but it didn't happen. The one thing that or 2 things I guess that we did that worked really well was the Content Creator Cup. For those of you who don't know, and obviously not following me enough, is that I have a second channel. I have a program, I don't know what you call it, but a second channel which I call Creators with a YT for YouTube. It's mostly a Twitter thing now rather than an actual YouTube channel. The YouTube channel still exists, which is a program I use, or product I use, a place I use. We've got Discord now as well, to try and connect other content creators and get people collaborating, give people ideas, give them a bit of fun. It started off with not this year, but started off a couple of years back now with a video creation competition where I would get people, give them challenges. I met some good people through there. I've got some people I would consider my best friends through that now. I've met so many content creators to that. And starting this year, we did what I call the Content Creator Cup. I put out a suggestion, a expression of interest, asking people who create content or have created content, people who are in the process, in the content creation world, or have been, even people who aren't active, or whether 1 sub or 2,000 or 2 million subs, whatever. Come along, join up as a group. The idea was people got put into teams of 4. They were given a theme to build a deck around. Then they got paired up with another team of 4. And they have a month to play their game. So it gave people an opportunity to meet, to get ideas, to make some content, to collaborate with other people, and it gave them enough time. So they had to play 1 game a week, so it wasn't. They still had their time to make their content. We weren't trying to take away from that. And yeah, the first one, we ended up getting over 40 responses, which is, I was expecting 8. We got 40 responses. It didn't go completely perfectly, but it was a lot of fun. Again, I met a lot of new people through there, a lot of new people I follow, a lot of people I would consider friends. And I learned a lot of lessons as well. And then we were in the second content cut, which is actually just finished. Probably didn't go as smoothly. We got 16 people in this time, which was a lot nicer number to have, a lot less people to have to worry about. But yeah, it's tricky. I think I'd still call it a successful venture, but a lot of little kinks need to be worked out. A lot of enthusiasm dropped off, especially as we got into the holiday season. So if I'm going to do it again, that's something to consider. So that's a look at my 2019. I was really happy with the year. Obviously, my personal life, my family grew. I got a pay rise at work, so that's nice. And then the channel went absolutely bonkers. The only thing I could have asked for more would be some kind of significant thing happening in actual Magic career. A win of a tournament, or some kind of recognition outside of content creation. I don't know. But hey, there's always this year. Let's see what happens, right? My goals for 2020. I would like to continue my channel at the same growth. In terms of subscribers, I definitely want to look at getting up to that 600 mark plus, about the 200 sub increase. I definitely want to start doing something else, or go back to doing something else. And that's probably going to be streaming. So I'm looking at streaming a couple of times a week, with the focus on it being somewhat separate but still connected to the YouTube channel. I think my issue is, one of the issues I had with streaming back in the day is that when I was streaming, all I was really doing was going live to get content to make the YouTube videos, and then I stopped that. And I just started making the YouTube videos themselves. So if I start streaming again, it'll be just to stream, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not going to be using that footage to, otherwise, I don't know, if I don't get into stream, because it's the only problem I find with streaming is that you get those times when nobody watches. You go live for 4 hours and you get one viewer and they don't talk, and it's probably just a bot anyway, or it's a friend who drops in to say hi and they're only there for 2 minutes because they've got real life going on. Whereas YouTube, I could put out a video and go to bed, wake up in the morning, and it's got a dozen views, and it builds up over the day. It's very rare that you put a YouTube video out and it doesn't get many views, as long as you're consistent. On that note, YouTube consistency is going to get back to normal. I think we're in a position now, my son's starting to get back to normal rhythms. Hopefully I can find myself getting back to making videos. I'm going back to work soon, so it's going to be interesting. But if I can get myself 2 nights a week where I'm not too tired to actually think, and I can start making content again, definitely want to get at least a video out a week, if not more. Definitely want to start doing other content on the channel as well as Magic. I've talked about it a few times. And definitely something else. So if I don't start streaming, the other thing I want to look at is maybe doing a podcast. I think podcasts are fun but tricky. If I could find someone at the right level who bounces off me and we could talk about a concept for long enough times, we could do it well. I know by myself it would not be interesting. I know if I was in charge, if solely in charge, it wouldn't be well because I'm not that interesting. But if I could find someone, it'd probably be Magic the Gathering related. It could even be content creation related. It could be something else. So if you're out there, if you've got ideas, I definitely want to start doing something. Podcast just seems like the next step. Aside from that, one thing I really want to start doing is collaborating a lot more. Most of my collaboration, through the creators, Twitter and Discord, has been me getting other people together. I've not really taken the opportunity to get myself involved with other people. So if that, again, going back to the podcast thing, I'd love to start getting onto some people's podcasts, just guest hosting, or dropping in to say hi and answering random questions, trying to build the MP Numbers brand up, and start really developing myself to be more than just a guy who plays Magic. I don't have the delusion that I'll ever be a high-level YouTuber that quits my job and does it for a living, but it'd be nice to be able to say, well, yeah, I YouTube and maybe get recognised a little bit more than I do at the moment. I don't know. yeah. So that's my goals for things. So yeah, YouTube focus. We want to get to the 600 sub mark. That's my absolute minimum for the year. And if I can get back to consistent uploads, if I can start developing my content to move away from just, hey, this is the game that I'm playing. I really want to build strategy guides. I really want to focus on level ups for people, things that help people rather than just watching someone play a game. And I definitely want to start doing something more. So whether it be podcasting, streaming, whatever it may be, I kind of need to sit down, talk to a few people about, get collaborations organised, and so yeah, that was my year. That's what I'm looking forward to. 2019 was an amazing year for the channel. Relatively, I know. Yeah, there are people who are like, "Oh, I started my channel this year and I have 7,000." So whatever, okay. For what I do, for the amount of effort I put in, I'm really happy with my growth for the year. I said, hoping to run it back again this year. We can have a lot of fun with it. Hopefully, you come along with the journey of me. Hopefully, you come along on the journey with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Jump in those comments, guys. Tell me what your plans are for 2020. Like I said, it could be your personal life. Did you set a New Year's resolution? Are you that kind of person? Do you have things you're working towards? How was your 2019? Did everything work out the way that you had hoped? All that kind of stuff. And of course, if you have any comments about anything on, like if you know some podcasts I should try and get on, if you know some of the channels I should try and be involved with, let me know, because I want to do stuff. Otherwise, look, I've been MP Numbers. I appreciate you hanging out with me for so long. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for everything, and hopefully we can smash out 2020 together. Bye.